Hi guys, welcome back.
Welcome back everybody.
It's hot today. It was the hottest day yesterday, 31 I think it got up to here.
Yeah, it did.
It's quite hot, but it dropped a bit, about 23 today, a bit cloudy, but it's still warm for being in the workshop.
Too hot for me.
But anyway, right, today I'm still going to do some little bits with the firewood because I said I was going to. I've got a couple of bits here I've cut, okay. I'll talk about what I'm going to do with that in a minute. What I want to say, I'm going to do lidded box. Now, normally lidded boxes you would do, or it's advisable I should say, to do out of end grain, so the wood going that way, okay. The reason being, when you do them like that, I've got a couple here that I have in my workshop, okay, like this one, little end grain boxes, and therefore I keep that one for little dowels, bits of wooden dowels and stuff, okay. Now with these, they're pretty good. Now a lot of people make them as a pop fit. I don't want pop fits because I want to be able to just take the lid off and get what I want, and that's it. They're usable ones. Same here, this one I've got, which is for, probably remember why there's a video of me turning these, both these. Anyway, yeah, this has elastic bands in, and quite often I want to be able to just take the top off and get elastic band out and
have it go flying
flying through the air somewhere and put it on something like that. So I want a one-handed operation. So the last thing I want is a pop fit top. But with end grain, when you do boxes out of end grain, they're quite good because they're quite stable. So they don't tend to move, okay. So that's why a lot of the time you do it out of end grain. Now I'm going to be doing side grain out of this. So side grain boxes, I love side grain boxes. I call them magic boxes because see, when we make them up, and you've got to get them right, it takes a little bit of practice. See, now we have a nice loose lid like that, okay, goes on and off, but what makes them magic is you give it a little twist, it's solid, you can't pull it off, little turn and it comes off. So it's not a screw fit, it's not anything. All it is when you turn side grain boxes, now do it out of dry wood, don't try and do it out of wet wood. It will move too much and it will be a waste of time. You've got to get it right, okay, because wood moves. It's like your bowl. If you turn a bowl, once you hollow it out and it will always move, okay. And it's when it moves, you want it to move slightly so that it will work, like it will grip. And the more you get to a certain point, if you go too far it will become loose again, but you get it to that point and that locks it, and then when you turn it back it's just a little one-handed operation. You can, if you get to the loose point there, it's just look, one-handed, okay. This one's the same, out of end, look, don't come off, little turn, comes off like that, okay, little turn and it comes off. Put it on, give it a little twist, locks on, and it amazes people because when you show them at your craft fairs or whatever, and people are like, oh, so how does that hold? Because they don't realise, if they're not into wood turning, that when you turn side grain it will always move. The wood always moves, always. So that's what we're going to do, magic boxes. Now the art in it is you've got to get the right size. Make it too tight, when it moves you won't get it off. Make it too loose and it could move too much out of shape, and it won't. The idea, what you want is when you put it on and you move it and you feel that tightness, keep it at that tightness. That stops it moving too much. It's a bit like bracing it, you know, it won't move too much over time. That's why you want dry wood. If you use wet wood it will move too much and it doesn't work. Getting it right is the trick, and you'll get that with time of doing them. Okay, now because it's firewood, I'm still doing the one out of firewood. Obviously these sort of pieces, to do end grain, I can't even get a box this size really. I could do a box probably just under that. If you look there, it's not going to be I'd be very tight to get a box of that diameter. Could probably just get them out of there, but it's tight, you know. So what I want to do is I want to make them out of these two pieces. This was like that. I showed that piece and I said I was going to cut that in half and do something. Well, I cut it in half, okay. Now I've got to watch with this because here, as you can see, and it was on both sides, this piece it's got like a bit of bark inclusion in it, so obviously it's joint itself together, so that's probably going to fly off, so we've got to be aware of that when we're turning. Okay, well, I cut it in half and I just squared that end, well, flushed it, that was it, so I can get it on here. Now if you've got a bandsaw, then I would say go and cut it down there and make it as a square piece. It might make it a bit easier for you. For me, I'm not bothering with that. I'm going to use this one for the base, and I reckon this one for the lid. Okay, so I'm going to put that one to side, and then I'll mount this one up, and I want to try and get as big a sort of cylinder out of it. Now the problem with it, this is where it becomes like, because you're turning, we're not turning this like a bowl, we're not going to come round, we want straight sides. I want to make a straight sort of cylinder out of it. Okay, if you get what I mean. So let's bring this up and sort of find roughly, it's going to be, because I've got this bit here, I've got to imagine that's not there, so I've got to imagine this bit isn't here, and that's going to be the straights, and then go for the center of that and see how it goes when I start turning. I might, oops, tying that up as well, I might have to move it over slightly, either this way or I might have to move it that way. I'll see when I start turning it down. Okay, so I'm going between centers. Now this is obviously, if you want to put it on a screw chuck, you can do all this differently, but if you're doing between centers, then this is, I'm going to talk you through what I would do. Now again, oops, excuse me, this would be perfect for me. I would like spindle gouge, and that's what I would do. And being it's the shape of it, I would probably go for, I'm lucky enough I've got 5/8 spindle gouges, so I would come in, pick up my cut and just go along, okay, to get it as a cylinder. Because it's side grain, we don't want to use a roughing gouge on it. Okay, don't use a roughing gouge. If you use a roughing gouge on that, like one of these type ones, it's going to hit here and chunk a big bit off. Not the place for roughing gouge, because this is a bolt orientation, side grain, it's not end grain. We're not turning the side grain here, we've got end grain here, and it's going to try and throw big chunks off. Right, bowl gouge, perfect. Get yourself a nice size bowl gouge. You know, again, 5/8. Well, this they would say 1/2 inch because I measure the flute. I measure the bar, so I call it 5/8. Right, again, come in and just make your cuts straight across. Then come in and do your finish cut with it this way. Pick up on it, get a push cut, and go across. Okay, bowl gouges, spindle gouges, very easy to do, very easy. With carbide, it can cause you a bit more problems because, like I've said before, when you use the square, if you're pushing in here with the square, you've got the same sort of thing that can happen as it happens with roughing gouges, where when you come to here, you'll be all right this side there because the grain's going up there, but when you come to this side, the grain's coming this way, so it can chunk a big bit off. Okay, and that's when you can find it can be a bit grabby. So it's all right there because end grain's going side grain there going up here, the grain's going this way, you hit there, it might want to throw that off. So if you're going to turn this with a square, you really want to come from the bottom up, and I'm going to talk about the ways you can do that. I don't want to put that there because Lisa's got her arms there. Let me put that there. She'll pull around down and slice up. Now the perfect one for this, I've said it before, is the round. Come in with a round like that and go straight up. Okay, roll it over, get buster, stop it, and you'll get those cuts. We're not using the round, we're going to demonstrate with the square today how we do it. Right, we don't want to be across the front. What we want to do, and we're going to be slightly above centre, we want to put our tool rest here. Okay, and what we will do is we will push up this way. Now we have a problem because we have this. I don't know whether Lisa can see that. This causes you a bit of a problem because we've got this, so you can't get straight. If you're on a worm screw, no problem because you don't need this there, but when you're doing this way, we've got to come up here. So I'm going to start and make a few cuts, and I'm going to show you how we can deal with that. And I know you'll be thinking, yeah, I'll just go there and push that way. Yeah, we're going to show that in a minute, but also pick out the problems you get with that. Because remember, this is all about catch-free turning, no catches, no grabs. Let me put my coffee out of the way. Right, I'll get started with some turning now. Face
go.
shield, most important thing. Right.
And I've got a full battery on mine.
Hang on, I can feel that. I'm gonna. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna put my hat on first.
All right.
I put this on. It makes my not having hair. It makes it feel a little bit more comfortable on me nut. Okay. And it keeps all the dust out of what hair I have got. Ignore the noise in the background. Sorry about Daisy. She'll stop. Right, okay, I'm going to start that up and we're going to come in and we're just going to make some gentle cuts. Just going up here, okay? Now, that's where the edge is. Right. The bark's a bit dusty. Let's tighten that up. The bark is a bit dusty. I'm going to get rid of that first, right? Like that, so that's it. Right. Right, we're not round yet. Now, here, as you get further up, you'll start to find it a bit grabby because obviously we're going further over. Just concentrate on your bottom bit at the moment, like this, and then you just bring your tool rest out, move your tool rest up, put it in here, like so, yeah, and then no grabbing. That way we get no grabbing, okay? You'll get a bit of noise because obviously this is coming down, it's not square, it's not round, is it? Right, now the other way a lot of people will do this, and it works. Come in here, I can just see that's there. I'm just going to tell you, is to do it this way. And that would be the other way to come in, okay? Would be to use the tool and come here and push it this way. Now, that works, okay? And it works okay. But because we've only got the thinness here and your cutter always overhangs your shaft, it will have a tendency to want to do that, okay? So you'll end up gripping a bit tighter, and that's when you cause yourself problems. Now, once we've got it to this stage and it's rounder, we can push in because we've lost the bits that are going to bang down, okay? So you've got those ways, but we do actually make a tool that's perfect for this. And it's one a lot of people ask, what can I do with that tool? Well, a Detail 90, okay, we can come here and we're working off the tip and we push along. Now, the beauty of the Detail 90 as well is if we just drop our handle a little bit, there's the bevel, no cutting, okay. As we raise, we'll start to get the cut, so we'll come on. Right, look, bevel, no cutting, just raise the handle slightly and we've got a bevel controlled cut. And that works perfect for pushing along. A little bit heavier cut then. There's a little bit heavier cut, did you see? I could see there was a couple of marks. I'm just going to have a quick look at it to see whether I need to move it slightly. No, I got it virtually dead right. Look, I'm just got that little flat bit there to get rid of, and that's doing all right. Okay, I'm going to take another cut. Remember, this is side grain, so yes, this is where a Detail 90 comes in really good. Fantastic chisel for doing this sort of thing. When you can't push up because I've got this in the way, okay, but I want to work off the tip of the tool because I don't want it to be trying to do that, and I don't want to be pushing in flat with the square because there's always the chance. So handle down, look, no cutting,
come on, and I've got a bevel control cut. Let me get a bit deeper cut. There we go. So we've got bevel control. Keep going. Right, oh, we're near enough round. Now, putting a tenon on. Very easy with this tool, because we can just come in here and we're pushing on the end grain rather than coming in here and doing this one where it can potentially catch. Quite often catches come with the square tool. We'll move that in a little bit. Come with a square tool when you go in this way, and the grain actually, because it's coming down on it, and that's when you can get catches with square tools. People do get them, okay? It's not me saying it, it's a fact. Right, okay. We're going to take some of this away. I'm not going to take it all away because the centre is going in to bark, so I've got to be careful. Right, so I'm going to come here and I'm going to put a tenon on here. Now I don't want a big tenon, that'll probably be about it. Now the beauty of this one, what am I going to hold those on? Yeah, that should be alright for that. Right, we're round, so now we come in here and we get a nice square edge, but I want to put a dovetail on. Rotate it, come in. Right, we come in there, and there we go. Perfect dovetail. Now, if you look at that, you can see that rotated there, it fits perfect there and there, okay? But it gives me a dovetail, okay? It's not a square tenon. I can get a nice dovetail with it, very easily. Right, now we're going to come in and we're just going to clean this up, nice and gentle. The bevel, there's the bevel, look. Just drop the handle slightly, it stops cutting, come on. Just push. Straight off that end. Right, there we go. We've got it lovely to shape, okay? Perfectly round. Now, it's not got a bad finish, but this is end grain. End grain is not, well, it's, you know, it's a bowl, so we've got end grain, side grain. It's not going to clean up as nice by pushing along like that. We really need to use our round carbide or our beta. Now, if we're using the round carbide, okay, now with this being a cylinder, we can go roll it over, sorry, get on the bevel, and we're going to give a clean up cut. Right, now, nice and gentle. Now with being a cylinder, we can go that way, or we can go that way, because we haven't come around. We're keeping it straight sided. So, you can see the fine little, I'll try and catch some of them. See the fine little wisp we get off. Okay, look, it's all wisps. Right, and that cleans it up. Now, like I said, if this was a bowl and I'd come round here and done around it, I would not go that way because I would tear up the grain on this end bit. Because this is straight, I can do it. I can go either way, doesn't matter. Now, another little cut and we'll see what we've got. Right, now that will have cleaned it up a bit, but we've still got little bits here, okay, because we've got this end grain. It's hard and soft, harder and softer. So with having on the round, when you come across to do a clean up finish like that, okay, on the round, because it's only a very small area in contact, okay, and you're sort of pushing on, you'll get that bit of bounce. That's why a push cut is never a finished cut, not on anything like this. But we need a longer edge, and we need, like we have on a spindle gouge. So this is where we come in with our detail chisel, and now we've got a longer edge. We can come in and we get these fine shavings. And now we clean it all up. We're going to take another little pass. Now, when you get here and you might be getting that little bit of vibration, you can hear it if you've got to really listen. Right, if that's happening, straighten the tool more. So when we're coming on here, we're getting this nice shear cut. Just straighten it a little bit more. You hear it there, go straighter. And just brush it across. And we'll get it there. And now we've got a dodgy bit there. There. Now we have no tear out whatsoever on that grain. We get rid of it all. And then all we've got to do is a little bit of sanding. Okay? Tiny bit of sand on that. But we've got a straight edge pot is what we're going for. Alright? And what I'll do a very, very quick sand on it. So I'll use my... Right, it's just a 180 grit, that's all it is, 180 grit. Put that on, start it up, give a very quick sand. Okay, I'm not going to spend a lot of time, it's not about the pot, it's about showing you what to do, right? So you're going to see this. There, that's lovely. Tiny little bit of sand like that. Now, come on, I've got a 240 here. That's my 240 grit there. Right, I wrote on it 240. That's it, it's done. That's all I'm doing. Like I say, if you want to you can sand it as much as you want. Do what you want. I'm not putting no finish on it at the moment. Right, there we go, and we've got this beautiful finish. Okay, done it cold, done it all up. There's a nice bit of figure up there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've done this very, very quick sand. Okay, this bit is going to have to go because that's where that's. I'll turn that down when I've turned it round. Okay, I'll bring you back when I've turned it round. Right, okay, guys, I've got it turned round in the truck now. You can see I've got all this here, and this bit I've got to take that out first. All right. Quick and simple way, I'm going to do it with a square carbide. I'm going to push it because it's about using carbide. That's what I'm doing with this, and I'm just going to be pushing in. Now you can see where center is, okay, and I am above center. All right, I'm above center. I don't want to be on center. Right, okay, so we come in. Near enough there. And you'll see when you're pushing on to end grain with the square carbide, you do get nice shavings. Now, because we're seeing now, you can see now how far above centre I am. So all we have to do is angle our tool down. Just angle the tool down, and there we go, it's gone. Okay, like so. And by angling down there, you'll get a beautiful controlled cut and a nice finish. Right, I don't know whether I've gone down far enough yet. You just have a look and see if it's all gone. No, look, tiniest little bit. So I'm just going to go fresher, but you can see we get a fairly clean cut on that because we're cutting down onto basically facework side grain. This is. So we've just got to go a little bit more. That should do it. Okay. Right. I should be down, which I am, I know. Right, okay, now I'm going to just come in here and push in a little bit. Just where I'm going past it and I'm hitting there. Right, and now I'm going to come in, start to do a bit of hollowing. Nice quick and simple way. Now, it all depends on your wood. Some woods you can get away by just pushing straight in on the flat, and this one's allowing it. Some woods will get quite grabby at that point, but again, this is the benefits of being above centre. It won't ever be grabby, it won't ever catch. Okay, and we can just push down like so, get down to our depth. Remember, we've got a foot to take off. Now, I'm doing it this way because it's straight-sided. That's why I'm doing a straight-sided pot. It's not big enough to do sweeping pots and things like that, okay? So I'm just doing straight bottom. Now I can see that is about there, so I've still got a little way to go. So again, for starting on your bottom, just come in at the side like this, okay? When that jumps like that, all that is as I've gone over, the bar's catching over on the other side. It's nothing, it's not a catch, it's not catching, it's just jumping. Right, I've not got to go too much. Now when you do this and you go in, I haven't got that light, have I?
No.
Right, let me just show you with this one for a minute. I think this one will come on.
Yeah.
I've got to find what plug it is. That one. Right, okay. Can you see in there?
Yep.
You can.
Yep.
Right. When you're coming in to do this bottom, don't try to get rid of that little knobble bit that's sticking up. You're not making the hollow in the bottom. Oh, it's not that good, is it? Right, hang on. Sorry guys, I've got a better light. Okay. Ta-da! There you go.
Yeah.
Right, so now you can see that bit I was on about in that bottom. Don't try to get rid of it, you get rid of that afterwards. Right, let me I don't really want to pull that out to do it, but I'm going to have to. Let's get this up. Now, yes, I have got the one that was made for it, but the magnets have come unstuck on it. So I'm going to have a little deuce of magnets. I haven't had a chance to glue them back on. Is that alright? You can see in there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that looks quite nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Bit of a bluey light. Right, I'm going to move my towel out of the way. Right, okay. So now I've done that. Now we'll take care of that bottom bit there by me coming in with this flat. And because we're above centre and I angle slightly down, there's no grabbing. What we want is we don't want no catches. We can just stroke the bottom like that and get rid of it. Total control. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to come here and take another pass. Like that. A nice 90 degree at the bottom there. Now I've got to come in, because I went slightly at an angle. I'm looking from a distance here. Right, I'm just going to come here and come in square. Because what I do want, let me see here. What I do want is this to be nice and square where it first goes in. Right, so my lid's going to be sitting inside that. Doesn't matter so much further down because no one's ever going to notice it. Right, there we go. We're in. I'm coming over to the middle. There we are. Clean. Remember, if you go past the middle, doesn't matter. Can't cut on that side. Can't grab. Can't do nothing. You hit this side, can't do nothing. Look. Okay, nothing to be scared of. That's the beauty of the square. Right, okay. I've got a little line. I don't know whether you can see it on there. Not really. There's a very tiny line and I'm just going to get rid of it. It's just there. It's one more. There. Right, okay, that's it. So now we're nice and followed. Now, it's not a perfect finish because we've just pushed in. So I've told you all before how we deal with that. And All we use is our standard 9mm box hollower, and we, oh sorry, Lisa's got the camera right on my head there. Right, and we come in here and we come on the side, okay. I've just touched the bottom, which I didn't really want to do. There we go. Right, and as we come out, we drop the handle right down low. Hang on, I've got to get over closer. Drop the handle down low, and we come out up here, up this bit, right? So we come in, we drop the handle. There. And that gives us a beautiful smooth finish. Can you see in there? Well, enough. Yeah. You won't see a lot because of that light.
Yeah, the light.
There's the dust in there and everything as well. Right, that is it. So we're okay on that. I'm going to clean this front edge up. Just like so. And just a little thing on that. And then I'm going to quick sand, very quick sand on there. Okay. And right, so I'll get rid of that light now. Put that back down there. Turn that off. No, turn that off there. Right, okay. Sorry about all that, guys. Right, bit of dust extraction. Now all I can do with this is a bit of paper, sorry, I'm going to press a bit of paper down inside it. We can't use drills, we can't use sanders or anything because we've only got this little bit of pot here. A little bit along the bottom. The bottom's going to be very smooth. That square cut will give us a beautiful finish on the bottom. Just seeing there we've all got a nut finish with the grain. There we go, that's that one. And I'll do that's the 180, and I'm going to do a quick with the 240, so I'll have to do that by hand with one of these pads. Right, okay. All nice. Stop that. Have a look. Yep, that's the grain in there.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, it made it look like light,
it's the
didn't it?
grain. I've got that. Yeah, it's got
Swirl.
because I've got this on the outside as well. Right, that is it. And that bottom, I've not really been able to sand that, but we've got a beautiful finish on the bottom because that's. And I would just canoodle wax this up, okay? But it's going to make the video very long if I go through all that process. So at the moment, that's it. Okay, that's going to be my pot bit, and then I've got to make a lid for it. So I'm going to take that off, and that's been done pretty much. You can see that inside, like with the square chisel. Okay, and that's our outside. Okay, yeah, we've got that figure down there. There's a slight cracky bit there, probably open up, but that's I've got to go with the wood I've got. Okay, be a nice little pot. All right, now that will be so-called round at the moment, but it will move over the next day or two. It will move because I've taken all the centre out, so I've taken away the stresses. This being the slightly softer side grain, it will give a little bit, slightly go oval. That's what it'll be, and that's where the lid will go like that. Okay, and I'll take the bottom off in a bit, but I'm going to get the lid done for it now, so I'll bring it back when I've got a bit of wood for that. Right, okay guys, I've got the other piece of wood mounted on that I should make the top off of. Now I've got to, as I say, turn this down again, so that's all it's going to be, is getting it down to round. So this might get speeded up a little bit or whatever, I don't know. Lisa will sort that out. You've seen how I've done it, you've seen how we use the what's it tool for it. Now I know a lot of you want to use traditional, so I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to start off with the bowl gouge. Okay, And again, I would come in at the side, take the high bits off. You can see I'm well above centre, always above centre. I'm up here, look, centre's down there, I'm cutting right up here. Look, there we go again, tighten it. Right, I need to check it and see whether I need to move it over slightly. See where it's going. Right, I've got. Yeah, I'm going to have to move it this way slightly, because if I carry on going down to when that comes round, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose too much of the diameter, and it won't be big enough for the lid. So it might not be as big for the lid, this piece. I don't know. I'm going to move it over. Now's the point to do that. Right, so I've moved it over a little bit. Move that in. That's it, that's moved it back. Right, there we go. And we go again. Right, tighten up. Tighten up. There's the wing of the bowl gouge. It's because this bit here is sticking right out, but we've worked. See, now just moving it over that fraction. See, now I've got both sides, okay, and we're okay. Now it's got a bit of crud here and that. This is where it's sort of catching on this hollow bit here that goes in. Right, now I'm gonna put my tool rest in. I don't want to lose any more of that diameter if I can help it. So I'm going to come in on the bottom, and this one I'm going to do like a more of a push cut. Right. Lose it at that bit. Now you'll hear the bouncing there, that's because we've got that hollow in there. See, now with bowl gouges, not as easy to do on bottoms with bowl gouges. That's why I don't tend to use them as much. Okay, spindle gouge would be brilliant, but we can do it with our detail 90. So, as we've already shown with the other one. And we can do it by pushing in, we can go this way. Such a versatile tool. Right, that's okay. So now, again, rotate it, come in, finish with it there, like so. And that gives me my dovetail on that bottom. Let me just have a look and make sure that's all okay and I ain't got too much bark. No, there's not too much bark on that. A little bit of bark there. Safety reasons, I'll go a tiny little bit deeper because I've got a bit of bark there on the tenon. I don't really want to hold it on bark. So push in, push in. There we are. I'm going to bring this down a bit now. Like so. Down a little bit more. There's our tenon. That is it. So we've got our tenon for our jaws there. Okay. And like I said, when you come in, you just rotate it that angle there. Okay. And that will give you a perfect tenon in there. It fits perfect. 90 degree, but dovetail. Fantastic. Right, now we did a push cut on that with the bowl gouge. And we've not done too bad, but we've got a little bit here on this end grain. It's not a bad one, it's the tiniest little bit, and that's because a push cut, like I said, is a bevel control cut, and you're pushing the bevel on. They're all bevel controlled, but when you're pushing the bevel on, you'll always get a bit of bounce. If you get any sort of bounce or vibration, you'll always get tear out. 90% of tear out is caused by bounce. So we're going to nip over to our detail chisel and we're going to clean it up. There, that's all it needed. Tiny little bit. The carbide helps out the traditional. Traditional helps out carbide. It all works the same. We all work for each other. There we go. Right, that's done. Okay. I'm not going to sand this bit at the moment. I'm going to turn it round, get it held in the chuck, and I'll bring you back then. Okay guys, welcome back. I've got it turned round. I've got this bit here, so I'm just going to put a pencil line. Sort of. So I know how far to push down to. And I'm going to do exactly the same as I've done last time. I'm going to use a square chisel and I'm just going to push down. I can use a standard square because the tailstock's out of the way now. Okay, and I'm going to just push down and take it down to that line. Nice, quick and easy way to do it. Now, a lot of stuff you do with the square, I mean, we've got a bevel control because our bevel's very short. That's sitting on the bevel there. And because we're high, I've said before, above centre, when we come on and we start to push down, our bevel actually starts to come into control here. I haven't got the proper sort of camera setups to be able to show you exactly that. And then here, now as I'm coming to centre, see when I first show it like this, it doesn't look like I'm that far above centre. When you get down to this little bit here, Lisa, zoom out. This will show you how high my chisel actually has to be to come to centre. Oh, look at that. I broke it off. Right, look, this is how high I am to come to centre. Okay, that's how high my handle is up. Okay, to come to centre. I'm like that. So when I start the cut, I start here, then I'm level. Okay, the bevel I push in. Right, now if I stop that, I don't know whether you're going to really be able to see it, but at that angle the bevel comes into play fairly quickly here. Okay, the bevel comes in, and then as you head down, you start to, when you get to this angle, you start to slide the bevel across, and it gives you nice sort of bevel controlled cuts, and it gives you a nice clean bit on that bottom. So right, now anyway, getting back to it, I've got to get a mark on here because this is going to be the bit of lid that goes on, and then that's going to be the finished side up there. Now this, you probably won't see it as much, this is already going oval here, and I think a lot of that is going to be made worse because I've got this bit of figure. It's like a knot that's going up there, and there's a little crack, so it's moving quite a bit. So what I'm going to do, I want it to be near enough round as I make it. Now it doesn't always work every time with these. Right, hang on, I've got to get a set of calipers down, and I'm going to get these set. Right, just open that up to, I'll get it to roughly, and then I'll show you exactly how I'm doing it. Right, there we go, we're basically there. Right, so it would be, look, that's smaller there, you can see this one's not touching, and as I come around here they're touching, so it shows you how much it's already changed to oval in that short time. So what I want is this to be that way, press it, and I want it to be loose there, and just loose there. Right, which is that. Now I'm going to come out a little bit to there, to the actual, that's the oval side. So I've come to the oval bit because I want to do this slightly oversized and just adjust it down that fraction. Okay, so now that is just on center, so we're good. You don't want this below, so you don't want to point this up, you want this to be this way. So let's just see, we come in and we make a line, push it in, and then check whether this one touches, but don't touch this one on. That touches on, it will flip it over. So I'm just got to come just inside that, like there, and there are both points, that points in and that one matches up there. Okay, so that we know that's where we've got to come down to. Now that's our circle. Okay, and for that I'm just going to come in with a square. Right, and all we're going to do is that tiny little one like that to check, because if it's not right, if we've gone too small, we can take it away and we're not losing too much wood. Right, there, that's just, oh perfect, look at that. That's just gone on. Okay, now I say perfect, it's not absolutely perfect, because that, now when that moves, okay, when this moves a little bit more, that would get too tight and it will either crack this, which that would probably crack anyway, but I'm only doing this for demo. Okay, so that is slightly tight, but I'm going to sand it so it will probably be okay. I'm going to leave it for the moment, because all the time it's on here I can always adjust that. Okay, but that's roughly where I want it to be. That will go on and off, but with a slight twist it will tighten, because not only will this move, but this will move slightly as well. Okay, right, let's come in now and we make this a little bit deeper. Now another thing with this, you're going for this sort of fit, don't make this too deep. If it goes in too far, it will over grip and you'll have trouble with it getting stuck. So I'm going to just come in a little bit deeper. Nice and gentle. Now this is where you've got to be careful. You want it to be dead 90 degree, which helps you with your square, because the square is dead 90 degree. That's it. That's going to be my edge there. Okay, that's what's going to go in. Now I'll take a little bit of that inside out on that, and for that I'm just going to use a little SCH chisel. Now you can see there I'm above centre. See how look? Right, if I put it on there, see how look? It will always want to do that and come backwards. That's because it's slightly above centre. That's on centre. Now if I hold it on, it doesn't move. See? That's right. So when you're getting skips and stuff, sometimes it's not the way you're presenting at all, it's just you've got the tool at the wrong height. If it's up there, it wants to go backwards. Okay? And all I'm going to do is hollow out a little bit of the inside of this lid. So I know this video has taken a little bit of time, sorry about that guys. It's not going to be a very big lid, so we're okay with what we're doing. And remember, this is actually the same as a bowl, so we don't want to ever come that way, we only want our cuts to go inwards. Okay? Now I'm going to go a little bit more with that. That's it, that's alright, that's not too bad. Right, and pull that out of the way. Now, I've got to decide what I'm going to do here. First off, I've got to get now see, that's tightening. That's got tighter. It's got tighter. So I'm going to have to, I might actually have a very slight taper there, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to just come in with my square and just take this in a little bit. Let's see, got to be right. You've got to take a bit of time with doing this bit. That's it. But that's too tight. See, that's when that moves a bit more. But it's got to be tight enough to stop this moving too much, but not too tight. That's all right. Actually, that's not too bad. That's, yeah, it tightens up around that side. Right, a little bit off. Tiny little bit. A lot of you could probably do it with sand in it actually, but I'm just going to that's it, I think. That's going to be it. Right, I'll leave that square then. What's your arm on that square, baby? That's better. That's it. Right, okay. Now I need to, basically I want a sharp pencil. Now I'm just going to put a little mark here. That's it. That'll just give me an idea of the diameter, okay? You alright? Did you shiver
just
there?
sneezing.
I'm sneezing.
Inside my helmet. I didn't want to go
Right, okay, no, I can't see it.
Can't see it.
I can't see it. It's there. Right, okay, let me start that up. There we go. Okay, so now I know where it is. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make a tiny little cut to that. Just off of it, because I will probably put the pot on so I can level the two up together. Okay. Right, now what I would a lot of the time do there would be to take it off, hold it by that and finish the top, because we can do that because we've got a nice bit there we can hold it by. So I'm actually going to come in here slightly. I'm going to put my tool rest nice and close, and I'm going to do a bit of that with the 9mm box follower. Okay, and I'm going to do it first. Then I'm going to come in here, and then I'm going to do. I've got to get this right down first. Look. Just near enough to that. Right, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to start rolling this over like this. I'm just going to do like a slight domed top on that, okay? Now I've got a sock so my face shield has just gone off. My battery, I need a new battery. I'll bring you back in a second, guys. Right, okay, I'm back with you guys. I'm charged up. So I'm just coming, all I'm doing is I'm coming around, I'm just bringing this around a little bit at the moment, like that. Okay, because what I want to do is I want to bring this piece in and pop it on, like so. That's it. And then I'm just going to take a very fine cut here to bring it down to that level there, okay? And what I'll do is I'm going to put my towel centre up just to hold that in place, okay? And I'm not going to go for a point in it or a step set. I'm just going to put this one on, which will just give a little bit of pressure like so. Let me start it up and see. Yeah, everything's holding fine, like that. And all I'm going to do is come from here and come along. Yeah, like so. Nice and smooth there, see? And that's that. And then I'm going to give that a tiny little sand. There we go. Now you can, if you want, take the bottom right down at this point, because I've got that, but because I'm on bark there, I'm not going to bother, and that's not tight enough to hold that on to be able to take the bottom off. So I will do that by putting that in a chuck and taking that bottom off. Okay, all I want to do is make sure I've got this here nice, which I have, and then I'm actually going to put a burn line on that. I'm not hiding the join. There we go. Okay, I don't want to hide the join. It's not a secret that that's a lid. There we go. That's nice. So we'll stop that, we'll turn that off. Take that off. There, we've got a nice little burn line on it, okay? So now I can take this away, pop that off. Okay, it's not even gone fully on that because that's got that oval. But that's all right, that's going to finish up. Looks nice when it's on. So there we go. Now I need to take the other end of that off. Take my live center out, and what I'm going to do is, I know this is all perfect here, so I ain't got to touch none of that. I can take that round, pop it in the jaws, hold it nice and gentle. Like that, not too much tension, don't need to hold it over tight. And then I'm going to take all this away and just finish that top, okay? I'm going to bring that in there, pop that like that. And I've got quite a lot to take away. Now of course we can, if we want, because we're pushing into the chuck. I wouldn't advise holding on that gently like that, pushing this way, but because we're holding on that chuck, we can take a square and go this way because we're pushing into the chuck. Just means you can get rid of it a bit quicker. Especially for me, because doing the video I want to sort of keep it down. Now you could actually do a nice little step top like that if you wanted.
Looks quite nice actually.
Right, handle right up to get into that. That's it. Right, okay. Now I'll come back in with the 9mm and finish that top off. So now we need to come back, angle it. We don't want to be straight across. Now I'm waiting here because something might come to me.
With a little knob.
Well, I was thinking of leaving a little thing on the top, but I don't think I'm going to.
No?
No. I think I'm going to actually take this down. Now you can see I'm very high above centre. So I'm going to bring my tool rest down a little bit now. So I'm working on the face. that round, and then I want to raise my handle and come into a nice little push up across the top here. Come on, nice and gentle. There we go. That's probably grain pattern there. No, it wasn't. It wasn't, because it disappeared. Right, there we go. We've just done a nice little dome top, okay? Keep it nice and simple, this one. That's all we're doing. Right, okay. A 180 grip on here. Dust extractor on. And we'll get this finished fairly quick now. Oh, your paper's gone. A bit of paper flew off, look. Straight to the 240. Get a little bit of dust off of it. Said before, brass wire brush. There we go, all nice. Stop that. There we go, we've just gone for a very simple plain finish. I've got a little bit of tear just there, look. See it?
Yeah.
I have to get rid of that. Sorry, I thought that had gone. Let's just turn that out. We'll turn that out. Let's just pick that up a little bit on here. I've done all that sanding for no. Should have checked it first, shouldn't I, really? Right, we'll just bring that round, another cut. Because we're coming across on that end grain there, but that should be alright. Let me have a look at it. Yeah, that's not too bad now. Right, we'll get a bit of sanding done. Sorry about that, guys. Let's put the watch it back on. Dust extractor back on. Won't take long. That feels alright. Like I say, you can take a lot more time with your sanding, go through all your grips and stuff like that. I'm just doing a quick 180, 240, that's all. Right, there we go. Right, let's stop that. Stop that. There, that's about all gone now. There. Okay, so that was that. Take that off. That's nice. And then we just check this on there. Yeah. So it's a slight push fit that loosens up that side. So it goes tight there, loose there, loosens up there. As you turn it, it's tight there. Okay, so that's how it works with the little type of magic lid. Okay, so that side, that's loose, that's where it goes. Nearly dropped it. That's where it goes on and off, is there. Slight turn and it's locks on. Okay, it's tight. Just got to take that bottom off, and the bottom will come off by let me just have a look here whether I've got a jam or something that I can pop it in. Jam. I'm not keeping this, so I don't want to overdo it on things. Right, okay, I think actually if that goes over that, it might even go over this drawer. No, not quite. Okay, we'll take this one off, put a different chuck on, and we'll pop it over.
Bring you back when he's got a chuck on.
Okay guys, I'm going to use my wooden jaws for this. Oh, got a little bit of fluff inside it. Right, because they're going to hold it, hopefully give me a nice perfect circle. That's it. Seems to be holding all right. Bring this in. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a spindle gouge just to take this bottom off. Okay, stay there. Again, keep the cuts nice and gentle going in. Everything's running nice and central. Let's see. Get rid of this bit of bark first. Nice and gentle, because the bark can grab, so you've got to be careful with bark. Yeah, keeping those cuts going in. Now come out here and we'll start to take this down. Take nice and gentle, don't be in a rush, you don't want to push nothing off. Come this far, you don't want to go pushing anything off at this point. Okay. Don't be tempted to start pushing that way, because you're wood on wood. And there's a chance you'll push it out. Oh, that's come loose there, let's see. Sorry guys, Lisa cut the camera off. She was right, it just come loose, it just moved. So I was saying, when you get on that centre bit, you just got to be careful. But no, it's only moved, that's all. Everything goes back up, nice and centre. The centre of this wood is very hard on that centre bit. Right, now we're going to get the bevel on. Put a couple of cuts in. That middle is very hard, something on that grain there. Right, we'll come back, bevel on, rotate it, come across. There we go, that's nice. Right, no harm done, it's just that little skip, a little come loose, that happens if you do jam chuck, whatever. Right, come in here, pick this cut up. Okay, so I'm just push it, close the flute completely, push in, rotate, pick the cut up, come in, and I'm very slightly going inwards, so it will sit on the outside edge and not rock when it's been put on a table. There's many ways you can take bottoms off. I tend to use my wooden jaws because I've got them. Okay, right, that's it. And then this bottom bit, I'm just going to take this gentle cut. Be careful here, this is when it could flip it off. Actually, I should really go this way. There, I just want to do that slight chamfer, that's it. I'm not doing anything with the bottom, I'm just leaving it plain, okay? Video's been long enough. So that's that. Bit of yeah, when they come off, just, especially if it comes off like, try and keep your chisel there so it stops it flying off, it holds it on. I didn't want that, yeah, that's good. Nice bottom on that, a little bit of around the edge, like so, we're all right all here. Like I say, it does happen them coming off, especially I think there's something on that centre that it was catching on. But there you go. We done it there nonetheless. How we done there? Oh, we got. Hang on, we got a little chip there. Look, I'm gonna have to go slightly deeper. Look. See it?
Yeah.
It's a very slight chip there. It's just shown when I've sanded. So that's okay, not a problem. We've just got to come in and take a tiny little cut. Nice and gentle. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut in, like so. Give me somewhere to put my bevel. Put the bevel on. Rotate. So open the flute up. And let the tool go at its own pace. Don't push it. Yeah, it feels like it's gone this time. Right, we'll put a little chamfer back on there, tiny bit, just so we don't have a sharp edge. I know people would say, well, you could stop and have a look. Ah, there's no fun in that, is there? I like the surprise at the end. There we go. Right, just doing the one grit on that. Just the one grit on it. Right, yeah, the chip's gone this time. There we go. Right, let's open that up. Take that out. Didn't mark it at all, see, no marks on it. Sits perfect, that's all good. Take this chuck off out of the way. Get rid of that. Yeah, I've got videos about making these wooden jaws.
I'll put the link in the descriptions box if you need
Right, so move this out of the way. Move that out of the way. I didn't put no finish on. It's not about a finished piece. It's just showing you how it works. Okay. And it pushes on. There's where it's loose. Okay. So it pushes on. It comes on and off there. Quite easy. Yeah. And then when you give it a twist to there, it locks. And there you go.
Magic box.
Magic box. Got a nice flat bottom. We've put no finish on it at the moment. I'm not bothering finishing it. It's not so. I will probably keep it here in the workshop to use it for putting little bits and pieces in. Okay. Like I said, that's where it locks, and it is locked. Okay. Bring it round to there, and it comes off like that.
Okay, I mean, you could be clever if you want and put a little line so it's got a line up mark and say, well, that's where it lines up. Turn it, it locks. Turn it back to there, it comes off. Okay, I like them. I call them my magic pots because there's nothing there to show what's locking, goes on. If you're not a wood turner, they wouldn't know exactly what's happened. It's just a case that when you turn it out of side grain, like bowl orientation, it moves, and it moves very quickly, so you can get your loop. But you got to get it right because you don't want it to go too oval, because then when you feel round here, you'll feel the oval of it. You want it to be right. Like I said, there it gets tight, there it's loose. Don't leave it on the loose, always have it on the tight. That reduces how much it will move. It sort of like braces it, if you like. And then as soon as you go like, and you'll find that'll work even better as time goes. It'll get tight there and looser there, and it'll go on and off there and tight there. The same as this one does. It's very loose there, okay, and it's very tight there. It locks on there. It's actually locked, so people think, oh, you can't get that apart, and you go, what's the matter, mate? You've got no strength. You little weakling. Look, it just goes on and off. Look, yeah. Flo, get me an appointment at the doctor's. I lost all my strength. I shouldn't have had my hair cut. There you go. That's what it is, guys. Right, so there we go. We've got a beautiful finish on top, but no finish on it, no waxes. Could probably burn the line a little bit better. It's not about that. Right. Beautiful finish on the top, beautiful finish on the side. We've done that with carbide, remember? Okay, we did do the top with carbide as well, and we've done the bottom with a spindle gouge. So, all work the same, don't they? Yeah. Yes, it did pop out of that. It can happen, it's wooden jaws. It's the type of wood, this is beech, it's not the best for it. You could do with a better wood, that's very slippery in there. So it gets very slippery. Wood on wood is slippery, so it's just one of those things. A little bit of water on it first, then put it in. That could help, depends what you're doing. Okay, so there you go, that is it, guys. Little magic pots
Ready for your craft fairs.
Ready for your craft fairs. There you go, and I'll see you on the next one. So toodle pip.
Bye guys.